Hello and welcome to another episode of Star Conflict Tutorials. This time we're going to talk about first PvP modes that are available to new players and how to win playing them. Each class acts differently in combat, so we're going to show two approaches to warfare, playing an interceptor and a frigate. We will not be focusing on a fighter though, because it can combine both tactical approaches in its gameplay. If you remember our previous videos, you will know that a Federation fighter is more akin to an interceptor, while two other factions have fighters closer to frigates. There are a total of 6 PvP modes in the game, but novice players can only pick 2, Domination and Team Deathmatch. Other 4 modes will become available as you level up. Domination. In this game mode, you need to capture and hold beacons in space, just like you do with capture points in War Thunder. Each team starts out with 750 points. If at any given moment one team controls more beacons, then the other team will begin to lose points. 10 points are also lost every time one of your team's ships is shot down. What should an interceptor do here? Well, let's go over what it should not do first. Never try and rush the middle beacon. This is the hottest zone of the entire map. Not only you are bound to meet most of the enemies there, but also tons upon tons of payload, missiles, torpedoes, and nuclear bombs. An average life expectancy of an interceptor around the central beacon is around 3 seconds. Rushing the middle beacon only works at the lowest of levels where opponents are new to the game and their weapons are not quite as deadly, but you best avoid acquiring bad habits now rather than try and get rid of them later. You will be much better off going for one of the flank beacons. Slower enemies will not make it there in time to intercept you, while you can deal with enemy interceptors there without support. Not to mention that flank beacons are often completely unoccupied by the enemy early in the game. If all of the beacons have been captured by either side, now would be a good time to check what's going on around the middle beacon. The mass of enemies should be getting thinner at this point, while most players will be spread out around the map. Now, you need to concentrate on capturing the furthest beacons, hunting individual enemies, and providing support for your combating allies. Your speed allows you to be where you need to be, fast. Besides that, an interceptor has a good bonus. It captures beacons faster than other ship classes. But playing a frigate is a whole different story. You should crush the enemy around the central beacon instead, or at very least engage and tie down enemies in combat while your interceptors take over flank beacons. Once they're done with those, they can provide assistance to you still fighting in the middle. When the central beacon is taken, do not try to rush the farthest beacon just yet. Long-range guns of your frigate allow you to control 2 beacons at the same time. Position your ship in between 2 beacons and scare lone targets away, thus preventing capture. If your enemies come in force, you will be at very least able to hold them off until reinforcements arrive. Keep in mind that on most maps, every team will have a home beacon. That's one of the flank beacons that is both closer to your spawn and easier to hold for your team. Most battles begin with both teams taking over home beacons first and then fighting it out in the center of the map. But there's a catch. There's no better way to make the enemy spread its forces but to attack its home beacon. There's a good chance that a beacon will have no one guarding it. Regardless of that, the enemy is sure to send considerable forces to protect the home beacon, which in turn loosens your enemy grip on the center, giving your team a chance to take it over. This is why you need to keep a close eye on the map. If the enemy team is going all out defending one beacon, do not bother trying to assault that position. Take the other 2 beacons, and as soon as the points drain in your favor, the enemy will have no chance but to spread out to counter you. When it comes to beacon defense, one ship is normally enough for the task. Once you take over a beacon, it spawns drones that automatically attack the enemy. The beacon itself is a solid cover for your ship, if you can use strafing properly. A lone interceptor rushing towards such a position will die long before he can attack you, should you play right. The second available game is Team Deathmatch, where a match lasts until one of the teams runs out of respawn points. Sometimes the match might end due to the timer running out, and a victory goes to the team that has more respawn points once the timer is out. Unlike the previous mode, this offers special artifacts that appear in certain places on the map. If you pick one up, then your team gets serious temporary benefits, while you will be earning bonus points for each enemy killed while this artifact lasts. Artifacts are usually located in the middle and at borders of any given map. If you want to know their exact location, then you can create a custom battle, fly around and get to know the map. You will do good to memorize where these artifacts are, where is cover, and etc. Bonuses come in different colors and have various effects associated with that color. Red increases damage by 50% and lasts 13 seconds. Do not take it early in battle because it will just burn out before it can do any good to either team. A good idea is to stay near it, and as soon as a major battle breaks out, pick up the artifact and engage with everything you've got. Blue provides invulnerability and immunity to all harmful effects. This is one good artifact, but lasts only 7 seconds. You should consider your timing wisely before activating this one. Green fixes hulls of all allied ships, which is obviously useless early in battle. So try and be mindful of the damage being taken by your allies, but in reality this is a very difficult task. You can think about it this way: when a battle is on, someone is bound to require repairs. Therefore, pick it up as soon as you need fixing, because there is a good chance you will not be the only one. Yellow. This is one artifact that you should rush for ASAP. It speeds up all allied ships by 50% and lasts 45 seconds. If you can get this artifact before the enemy does, you can use it to take better tactical positions and other artifacts. Not to mention that the boost of speed on its own is a major benefit in combat. The artifacts respawn every 5 minutes. Pay close attention to the timer and try not to miss a chance to grab one. Now, let's break down tactics for each of the ship's classes. Frigates. Their main role here is to suppress the enemy and allow their team to assume good tactical positions. Usually frigates operate around the middle artifact, so that as soon as it spawns, it can be taken by allies. Frigates would be wise to avoid open space and stay near cover at all times, and hide if they take too much damage. Do not venture too deep into enemy territory because you risk not coming back at all. Guns of a frigate are accurate and have extremely good range, but after suffering serious damage from those guns, most enemies will break off and hide. Chasing them down in a frigate is a useless effort. You better switch to your nearest target and fire again. It is up to interceptors and fighters to run down stricken enemies and destroy them for good. Which is exactly what we're going to talk about now. Apart from chasing down fleeing enemies, these two classes are perfect for destroying lone enemy targets that separate from the main force. While most enemies are engaged with your allies, you can destroy lone enemies stranded somewhere far away. Certain pilots prefer to take this tactic to the next level and camp the enemy spawn, but this is risky because if you fail to destroy your targets in time, there will be no escape from there. Finally, we would like to give you a couple more advice on how to better work with your team in any game mode. Do not dismiss support classes such as Engineer or Command Ship. Get some of these classes and try them out. Yes, you will be getting fewer kills, but you can have so much more impact on overall combat than if you were just playing a role of a frontline grunt. Always help your support ships. They are stronger in a good team, not in hand-to-hand duels, where a single fighter can rip them piece by piece. Talk to your team. Use the chat. Mark enemies for your allies with a double tap of R key. This way, you can mark not just an enemy but also a beacon. Pay attention to what your allies mark as well, because this can mean a stricken or an isolated target that will be easy to destroy. Finally, play with your friends, join corporations and fly together. Even just two well-coordinated players with a voice chat can be a deciding force in a victory for an entire team when playing random matches. This is it for today. See you soon. Star Conflict Tutorials signing out.